We are here with Olly.
Olly, yep.
And we are in Mount Eden, Auckland, at a music studio called The Lab.
Alrighty.
Very cool to be here.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
We're very excited. Hey, first of all, congratulations on some of the awards that you've won.
Oh, cheers.
With the Naked and Famous album, Mel Parsons, and all sorts. Now, I was on the website, and it's literally a who's who of New Zealand musicians that have come through at The Lab.
Been around a while, so yeah.
Yeah, so I take it you've been here personally since 2003?
Yep. And I was moonlighting here almost for a couple of years before that as well.
Okay.
But just, like come and do an occasional casual session. But yeah, full-time since 2003.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is a long time.
Now, without playing any favourites, who are some of the memorable acts that have come through?
Well, there's memorable in all various ways, aren't there?
Yeah, right.
There can be. There was some. Right back in the early days, when I started, there was some pretty crazy ones. Like, do you remember the Bob Rock, the producer? He did Metallica and stuff. So his daughter kind of got into music for a while there,
wow.
and got some crazy boyfriend who got into the studio with Funkadelic. It was a pretty weird session. Really weird, and they were all pretty strung out, and they couldn't get anything stronger than weed. So, that was pretty memorable for one reason or another.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And talking to some of the the LA session musicians who done great BV things, back in the 70s and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty intense, but that was back in sort of 2005 or something, I think.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Pretty naive. And things like the Naked and Famous session, that was actually pretty cool, actually. Just
nice.
Yeah, that was back when people used to do 3 weeks in a row sort of thing.
Wow.
Not that it happens a lot now.
Awesome.
But other sessions where it's been running tape.
Yeah.
Back in the day, cool stuff. Getting because I started off on digital when I really first started on things like ADATs, and going back to tape was quite a that was a really interesting experience. Going back to it became a 16-track 2-inch, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of some other ones that were.
I'm just trying to think as well. There was Scribe on your website.
Oh yeah, true. I can clearly remember.
One of the most successful rappers in New Zealand.
Yeah. That song, like the Not Many. What was the one that came after Not Many?
How many
the remix?
dudes roll like this?
Yeah.
Is it
that one? Yeah.
Yep.
So I remember they came in with P Money, and and it was just like, oh cool, it's just Scribe. I remember you from Christchurch days, because I'd kind of when I was starting out, he was starting out down there as well.
That's cool.
And it's like, oh, hey, man, how's it going? I haven't seen you for a while. And they came in and did that song.
Yeah.
And then a few weeks later, it's like, it's number one. And it's massive.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And that was really intense.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
No, we could honestly play the naming game all day.
Yeah.
Just know that The Lab is one of the last remaining large studios in New Zealand.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So there's some really cool history behind this venue itself. It used to be the Crystal Ballroom.
Crystal Palace Ballroom,
yeah. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about the history of this place, because it's really interesting.
Yeah, so when it was first built, maybe in the late 1920s, I think. So let's say 1930 anyway, around about then.
Yeah.
This space down here, the whole thing was open in a massive, I don't know, probably like 400 or 500 person ballroom. Like a big wooden floor, and over there, you can't really see it, but behind us, that's where the isolation booth is. That was the stage, and so the bands, such as they were back in the day, probably would have been the jazz bands in the 30s and 40s, the big bands with all the saxophones and things. Yeah, they were on that little stage, and the floor would have been packed full of the youth of the day,
the roaring youth of the day. That's awesome.
And then as the eras progressed, the 40s and the 50s, it would have changed over to the rock and roll bands. Yeah, well, rock and roll, like jazz musicians playing this newfangled music. Yeah. And then obviously the youth, the people that were into like Elvis Presley and Chuck Berry and whatnot, they were, that's what they were playing then. And then transitioning from the 60s, it became back, I think it sort of went back towards the slightly more, they were playing, well, I was still playing the contemporary stuff anyway, but with those same musicians. I think there was one of the bands that was EP11, I think that was his band that played there. And so this place was, it was hot. It was,
absolutely.
Like, it was.
And it's a really good location.
That's awesome.
Mount Eden Village is like close to all the shops.
Yeah.
Everything. So
it's I don't really know an awful lot about it. I've only really sort of picked up the various things from people coming down the stairs, for instance, and telling me, I used to come here and I met my wife here, and it's
awesome.
great, it's amazing, and and so you chat to these old chaps or women or whatever, and they got really fond memories of the place.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
It's so cool that I find that it's still doing music here, and so
no, it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm keeping the thing alive.
No, you certainly are. So it's real awesome to be here. And it's all focused on this beautiful Neve desk here, which is amazing.
Yeah.
From the 70s. Tell us a little bit about the console.
So it was built 1978 for ordered by Granada TV in Manchester.
Wow.
And it would have gone into the studio to do their live broadcasts. So they did a lot of like the Manchester bands, people like New Order. Yeah, New Order would have like played through this console when they were doing like a live to air kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I think it maybe spent 10 or 15 years there, and then by the time the 90s came around, everyone decided that they were going to go to these fancy digital desks.
Yeah.
And so it went out to the States, went out to LA, and Cesar Rosas from Los Lobos bought it, and it was in his home studio for some years. I'm not quite sure exactly how many, but I've got photos of it that the broker that we bought it from. He showed me the photos of here's this console that's just come up for sale. It's and you could see it in his home studio. It's quite classic actually. This is Cesar Rosas' lounge. It totally looks like his lounge, and I bet his wife is throwing a hissy fit now, and he's got to get rid of it. Made him sell it.
Make some room for the album.
Yeah, but I think they did at least 2 albums on it.
Right.
Los Lobos did back, must have been in the late 90s, early 2000s, I think.
Yeah.
And then in 2006, I had it was a Neve, but it was from the film unit down in Wellington. We were just borrowing it, and it was it would have sounded great once, but it was in such poor condition when we got a hold of it that it was 32 channels, I think. I only ever really got 24 going at once,
right?
So it was a real struggle, and or they were always crapping out, and the switches I used to have to I had toothpicks to keep the switches down because all the buttons wouldn't stay down, so you'd have to put a toothpick in it to hold it down. So it was a real.
So it had some character, say.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah. But it had a hard life down in the film unit in Wellington.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so that was like, okay, we've got to get another console, and the co-owners, I went to them and like, we've got to do something, and they said, okay, you can go start looking out. So I got a hold of a broker in Portland, Oregon, I think.
Right.
For some reason, just seemed like a good dude, and he first of all found an SSL that I was like, I don't know, it sounds a bit, all good, but what about the preamps? And then he found me this, and so it was perfect. It was. The only thing that wasn't perfect about it is it was in 2006 when the American dollar versus New Zealand dollar was about 65 cents, I think. Okay. So it was an expensive purchase just because of the exchange rate. Well, it was expensive anyway, but we got it here anyway, and it arrived in a crate.
I assume you had to piece it together?
Yeah, all the modules were taken out, individually wrapped in bubble wrap, and Must
have been like a prolonged Christmas experience.
Oh man, it was amazing. I'd get it here. I got it here. How did I get? Oh gosh, I had to get a moving truck with like 6 piano movers or something. I think it was, and getting it down the stairs was that was something else, because that was still just the frame. All these things, modules are in it. Just the frame weighed 400 kilograms or something.
Yeah,
I think the crate itself coming over was close to a ton.
Yeah.
Because it's tiny. It's only. It's well, tiny is a relative term, but there's so much iron in there. There are so many transformers in it. It's bristling with them. And then anyway, so I got it in. I opened it up, and it's like, oh wow, look at all these modules. This is my dream come true sort of thing. I've only heard about Neves really. I've been to York Street and seen their one, but I've never really touched it much. So read about things and then to actually have one in my hands, it was really good. I was pretty excited, and then I spent several weeks, really late nights, doing lots of soldering and figuring it out. Because there was no manual for it.
Right.
I had to teach myself how it worked, how it went together, and the patch bay over there, that was all labelled weirdly.
Yep.
And things. So I had to work out what was going where and how it worked, and eventually got it together and got it going. And the first session I did, it was I think it might have been $1 million or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was some
paid off.
Yeah. Actually, it's hard to remember.
Yeah.
Shortly afterwards, the first proper session was the Lucid 3 album.
Oh right. Lucid 3.
Yeah. Yes. And it was like it all goes. It's great.
Excellent.
I had a few issues putting it together. I remember popping breakers and things. Yeah. Getting some power supplies to arc, and oh no, fuses have blown. Oh, what have I done?
Yeah.
I ruined it. But no, they're pretty sturdy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Living the dream, and here you are with the Neef.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah.
We also like to get into the engineer's story. So, tell us a little bit about your journey in terms of.
All right. Yeah.
How did you get into audio engineering? Were you an audio engineer to start with, or?
No, it was funny. I started off as a fairly average musician.
What did you play?
I was obsessed by mostly by Jimmy Page, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I bought a Les Paul, and I had a Marshall, and a rock guitarist, and long hair, and it was awesome,
Right.
Back in the late teens, early 20s sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I went and I did a contemporary music performance course in Greymouth, which it's what is Mains now, but it wasn't called that then. It was like, this is 94.
Okay.
1994. And at the same time that as the music course was going, they had a what was it you call it? Music production and engineering course, and that I noticed that, and I sort of got to know some of the people on it, and I became quite interested in what they were doing, and it was because I'd only ever I think setting up a PA, I'd been able to plug in a microphone, and that was as much audio engineering as I'd ever done.
Yeah, right.
But then this other course was there, and it seemed relatively interesting and a bit more behind the scenes, and it sort of appealed to my slightly more nerdy nature, I guess. And
technical side. Yeah. Because you fix things as well.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
was that just all hands-on sort of as you went? Or?
I hadn't really learned to do any of that before. Maybe I might have been able to solder a guitar cable or something, but the year after I did the music course, I went back and did the audio one. I was like, whoa, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And then I started doing live sound for bands, at Christchurch, in the old Ducks Deluxe, obviously, well before it got knocked down by the earthquake.
Yeah.
And various other places. I did lots of touring and things. But so I was doing both audio engineering and buying stuff. I bought like an O3D, the digital disc.
Oh right, okay,
I bought one of those, one of the old Yamahas.
Yeah.
And some other things, and bought some microphones and and I was kind of set up with a band as such, you know, like sort of a third wheel almost, or fifth wheel, however you want to look at it, whatever. But yeah, so I started doing both, you know, just technical stuff and recording, and got a bunch of gear, and then I got sort of like a really weird part-time job sort of thing as a studio engineer in this place down in Christchurch.
Yeah.
That I don't like to talk about too much because it was really strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, eventually I moved to Auckland.
Yeah.
And by that time I'd brought a little Pro Tools, like a 001 rig, the very first one.
Digi-Rack.
Yeah, the Digi-Rack. I know.
Why not?
Yeah, that's right. And so I brought that with me, and weirdly said, well, yeah, about if you give me the, like, I'll do the casual jobs, you know, when the main engineer can't do them, you can use the Pro Tools rig. And so that was my foot in the door. And then yeah, so then a couple of years after that, the main engineer left, and then I ended up here.
Yeah.
But the building stuff is one of those weird things that's a parallel with, like, you know, okay, well, something's not going. I wonder what I can do to fix it. And I'd take something apart and look inside it and go, I've got no idea. I don't know what any of those things are.
Yeah.
But I was fortunate in living with a friend who was a genius in terms of, he was a good keyboard player and a drummer and things, but he also he was a full coding nerd.
Yeah,
I think he actually, right now, I think he actually works for Trade Me. He is the backbones of the coding of Trade Me or something.
Right.
Like that. But he was also good. He knew how to fix valve amps. He'd learnt the stuff in school, so I kind of got a wee bit inspired by him and started to, you know, teach myself the vague things. You know, by that stage I could wire up a D25 connector.
Yeah.
Which is a hard thing to do, and make it reasonably tidy and go.
Yeah. Good on you. I mean, not everyone can sort of enter that world. I mean, I remember as a teenager, I had a Korg Chaos pad, and I was intrigued with the insides.
Yeah.
Put it apart, it never came back together.
Yeah.
That was my experience. So, the fact that you're...
I had some of those.
Yeah.
The things of pulling them apart and go, oh, what have I done?
Yeah.
I don't know how this goes back together.
Yeah.
But you learn from those.
Awesome. That's very good. Yeah. Well, what I think we should do is maybe just have a tour of the studio.
All right.
If that's okay with you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Follow us through as we take a tour of the lab here with Olly.
All right.
What a great control room. So we'll start off here. Let's start off with the monitors, the most important part of the studio.
All right, okay.
So you've got your JBLs. Tell us a little bit about that.
These are the ones that I use most of the time, I guess, the near fields. They're the LSR 28P, I think is what they're called. They're self-powered. They sound really good. I really like them. I've always been here, I suppose. And they're quite powerful for their size. Quite an enormous amp in them and a massive big voice coil. The NS10s, which I would often have
standard.
They're sort of sitting down there under the table at the moment.
Yeah.
And I've got these bigger ones up here, which are actually, weirdly enough, they showed up a few months ago on Trade Me, and I was like, wow, it's the big brothers to these. Right. So that now makes it really easy if people are tracking in here, like say you're laying some bass down or whatever, and you're to some drums. It's much easier to use the big ones because they do move more air. Yeah. And but they sound really good.
Yeah. And you've got your mono one here as well.
Yeah, the little Auratone for a bit of a laugh, for if you want it.
You've got to have a good mix in monos.
Yeah, exactly.
I also see there's a few hidden gems just around the corner.
Oh, yeah,
so is that your wonderful tuis?
There's
for Naked and Famous?
Yeah, they can. One of them, tui of them. Yes.
Two tuis.
Yeah.
Here we go. No, that's awesome. Again, congrats on that.
Oh, thank you.
Now, tell us a little bit about some of this rack stuff. This
right. Well,
very interesting.
Yeah. So there's a collection of some like classic, almost industry standard sort of stuff, and couple of things I built myself, actually.
Oh,
so
wow, okay.
starting from the top left, this is, they are 500 series LA, LA3A clones. So,
oh, right,
but in a smaller package. Pretty cool, and I often end up using them for mixing on like maybe the vocal bus or something, which is cool. And then here, this was something that popped up on the DIY forum that I spent a lot of time on, and they are a 500 series version of the Sontec, which was the precursor to the GML EQ.
Yeah.
And whoops, I just banged my mic. Sorry, but yeah, so this was quite a tricky build. They're really complex, they're super complex. So 5 fully parametric bands with pretty knobs, and so that was really good. So I can use it. I often use them for mastering, kind of that sort of stuff. Obviously useful for tracking as well, but you don't generally need 5 parametric bands if your tracking is something wrong. If you've got to use that much EQ.
Maybe just change the mic or something.
Exactly, yeah. And then moving down, this is actually an SSL 4000 clone.
Okay.
Yeah, so one thing I built myself from a kit.
Right.
And that's my main mix compressor. It's really cool. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And then obviously down a bit we got the 2254E.
Nice.
Man. This is actually ex-TVNZ, so...
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's always been in New Zealand, but just glorious, a gorgeous thing. Use that for mastering quite a lot as well. And sometimes I'd have it with the meters not moving. Sometimes I make the meters move a lot for mastering. It sort of depends what the thing is. So yeah, real nice.
Right.
These are the LA3As. So they're the
LA3As, yep.
Yeah, they do that same thing as those do.
And whatever.
Yep. And these are awesome. The ADR, the Compex thing. So they're English design.
Is this a channel strip? Or what is that?
They do make a channel strip, but no, this is actually a dual compressor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, nice.
Yeah. Also ex-TVNZ, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. And weirdly enough, the channel 1, 2, 3 and 4, which is quite interesting. Yeah. The old distressors, they...
Swiss Army knife.
Yep, totally, do a job. For some reason, I've got a preamp here.
Okay.
That's sort of like a Neve 1272 clone. That's a leftover from years ago before we got the Neve, the good one.
Okay.
And it's there because it's got DI inputs and because it's sort of...
Right.
I don't know why it's there. And then that's funny, down there, an old Aphex Exciter. Yeah, just for a bit of a laugh. Back up here, you're going to the... these are original...
Uray 1176.
Yeah, the Rev D as such. These two I built myself, so they're
awesome.
Kit sets. So these 4 compressors here are probably the ones that I use almost, if it's tracking, I'm always using them.
Always using them on the
They're hard to beat. They're good on just about everything.
Okay.
I think I'd be lost without 1176s.
Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah.
I've got the 6176.
Oh yeah,
Ex York Street.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it's just something about the 1176.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's like, can do anything.
Yeah, love it.
But you've also got the tube preamp as well, part of it as well, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. This is 1178, which is a stereo version of the silver version of these, so the Rev H or something like that. That is made by the same people that made this. And
Studio Electronics.
Yeah, and once again, it's a copy of these.
Right.
Yeah. Kind of tricky to use because it's a bit annoying. The knobs are too small. And I'd use it, but I'm just like, that would be the last one I'd plug in.
Right.
It's like,
yeah,
put on TomTom sort of thing. Yeah.
Where is this from?
It was, they're a company, Studio Electronics made synths.
Right.
Yeah, and I think they still do. I think, but for some reason they branched out back in the early 2000s and made this and this, and then I don't think they make it anymore. It was only just for a few years.
Okay.
Yeah, but Oceania used to sell them, and so, Nigel sort of said, "Hey, I got this," and so I got it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and this is the old, venerable old DBX 160, which is not, I wouldn't say a one-trick pony, but it's a limited amount of tricks. So quite good on a bass drum, quite
on a bass drum.
guitar as well. Yeah, not too much. You can't use too much because they're real pumpy and things.
Yeah,
but quite a lovely, quite a cool thing. I'm really glad I've still got a pair.
Versatile for any kind of genre? Is it just that pumping sound?
Just you got to be careful. You know, if you go too much, then you start to really notice it. Nowhere near as much clarity or transparency as one of those.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
But still cool all the same. And then this is a funny old beast. This is one of the only things that is left over from when I very first started.
It's an MXR.
MXR
Dual limiter.
Yeah, so it's kind of they're trying to do a similar thing to what these are doing, so really fast attack.
Right.
But it's a bit more grainy. It's sort of a bit of a character compressor. I left it in the rack because it's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. So there's my dynamics rack anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, there's a tape room and
there is a tape. Well. Yes, there's a machine room here with.
Go through that.
Yeah. With that. Oh, let me just move these things off.
Yeah.
Give it the respect it deserves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Still using. You mentioned before you were still using them for sessions.
I haven't used it so much recently, but I've got a session coming up maybe at the end of October.
Yeah.
Beginning of November where I will use it. It'll be more as a let's say a plug-in. A tape plug-in. So I'll record through it.
Yeah.
And then straight into Pro Tools.
Right.
Yeah. So it's I describe them. I think they're a bit like the Toyota Corolla of tape machines.
Right.
Super dependable.
Yeah.
Really, like they go and go and go, and they, but they don't maybe have the same sort of cachet or like the same oomph as a Studer or something.
Yeah.
Right. They don't look as
it's
pretty.
It's not a V8, but it's reliable, as you say.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah. But they of course they're tape, so it's still doing the tape thing.
That's
but imagine if it was an Ampex 1200 or something. It'd be falling over ourselves. And then there's my my converters rack, which is looking pretty good now. All apogees.
Running the Mac?
Yeah, running the Mac, the old Mac Pro, which has been fully upgraded with I've made it into basically it's the same specs as those 2013 Mac Pros, the ones that turned into the dustbin. Yeah. Yeah, but so it's good. It's got plenty of power still. Yeah. But because it's got the cards in it. Yeah. I can't go past Pro Tools 10 until I decide to go. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It's it's a weird situation. Yeah.
You hear about that in the forums.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think Roundhead are in the same boat. Yeah. They're staying on 10 at the moment as well. So eventually something will give. Yeah. And there'll be a way forward. But right now,
Come on, Mac.
Yeah, totally. Come
on, Apple. Yeah. What's this?
This is the little. It's a fun machine, really.
The fun machine.
Yeah. So
have you used it on any recent?
We've been recording our blues jams.
Blues jams. Okay. Cool.
It's a little 1/4-inch one track, so fully mono. I think it's a little valve amp in there as well. But it sounds terrible, but in a kind of an old crunchy kind of way. And it's fun to use. So
it's taking you back to a certain era, is it? Like the 20s? Or?
I think it would have been maybe late 50s, early 60s.
Late 50s, okay.
Yeah.
So that would be good for that.
It's great. It makes it sound really authentic.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. Like early Fleetwood Mac or something.
Yeah.
Like really early, before the woman joined.
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, before Stevie Nicks, yeah.
Cool. What's this Q Mix? Is this just for your headphones?
It's my basic headphone system. I mean, it's normally it gives you up to sort of 6 there, and if I need more, then I've got another one down there and more out there as well.
More out there as well.
Yeah, but it's a little matrix mixer, so you can get yourself tied up in all kinds of knots with the matrix mixers. Yeah, the way they work, but. You can do you can do 4 separate and plus a stereo, or then you can do combinations of all of the above. Yeah.
Creative. The patch bay, of course.
Yeah, patch bay is an absolute monster.
Is this just power supplies?
Yeah, that's the power supply for the big speakers.
Yep.
And then that's the Auratone Auratone. Sorry, power amplifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Auratone's amplifier down there.
Cool.
This here, I was using it, but I don't need it anymore. It's just sitting in the rack because it's a cool old Roland thing.
Yeah.
From the early '80s, I think. I really quite, it's just there because it looks good. Taking it, it's about the aesthetics, not just about the sound.
Yeah. And of course your Neve.
The Neve, yeah, the glorious.
The pride and center of the.
Yep, 36 channels of amazing sound. Yeah. Yeah. I'm always grateful that I've got it and that I managed to get it back in 2006. So I'm in a pretty privileged position, I reckon, to be able to use one of these every day. It's pretty awesome. So as you see, there's not many preamps in the rack.
No, it's mainly compressions because
there's 36 really good
preamps, which is nice. So
yeah,
that's all you really need.
Yeah, and then the most underutilized part of the studio now used to be used a lot more than it is, but I've probably turned this on most and used that more than anything.
Oh, cool.
The 555. That's a great device.
Yeah.
And then that gets used once in a while. The
Ultra Harmonizer. What are you using this on? Just vocals, I guess. Or?
Sometimes you can record synth through it.
Oh yeah, of course.
With the widener thing, it's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And the reverbs, unfortunately, they don't really get. I mean, there's the plugins. To be honest, the plugins are so much better.
Plugins are pretty good for reverb.
They are. They really are. I mean, if I used to have a 224, which is like a Lexicon, but it popped a chip. And they don't make those chips anymore, and I retired it.
Are you still using your Neve console for auxiliary outs to effects, or is it mainly plugins?
Mainly
compressions, obviously outboard. But
yeah. So
for delays and reverbs, really.
Mostly, unless I've recorded it. On the way in.
Yeah.
Then it'll be from the computer.
Fair enough,
Yeah. It's just the way because people want.
Workflow, fast.
Yeah, recall. Oh,
recall.
Can you change this one thing?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's really hard to try and pull up an old analog mix.
Of course.
In 10 minutes.
But speaking of that, though, this Rev 5 is very famous reverb. For snare.
Yes. Yeah. They've got the where is it? The setting. Which one here is it? It's the percussion plate, isn't it?
Percussion plate.
Yeah. Oh, where is it? That one there.
That one there.
Amazing. Yeah.
Patch 4.
Yeah, that's right. And this one here, actually, this has got an incredible gated reverb.
Okay.
Which, if you want to sound like the 80s, 80s gated reverb, that really can't be beat. It's just sit there, and I think I've got set it up on the gated reverb right now. Yeah. This one here, and it's got a gate tone and everything, so it's like almost like that one was invented for 80s gated reverb snare.
Okay. They probably need to rebrand then. DEP8.
Yeah.
DEP3.
There's definitely a vintage digital, that one.
Yeah. That's cool. And you've also got another
there's only one
processor, the Alesis MIDI Verb.
There's only one setting on that I use. That's called a thing called Bloom. I haven't even used it for a while.
What do you like that setting?
Patch. It's like this. It's like a reverb that just goes sort of reverb on reverb almost.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Sort of a long tail of some sort.
But I haven't used it for a while. This here is a cool delay. This is a
Korg
SDD 1000.
Yep.
Yeah. It's got really cool modulation. Really intense, really deep, and when you go to, it's got an oversampling where it halves the sample rate. So on 102.4, I think it's going down to like maybe 12 kilohertz, and then down here you're down to about 6 kilohertz or something. So it gets really grainy, which is quite cool. Sort of makes it almost sound a bit like an analog delay, almost as good as this. But it's a pretty cool machine. I think that's the there's another one, an SCD 2000, which I think the Edge uses. Occasionally I see one coming up on Trademan. It's like, man, people always say, this is the Edge one.
This is the Edge one. This one, SCD 1000. There you go. I have to keep an eye out for that one. That's cool. I will compliment you on the sort of layout of the racks as well. They're all dedicated areas, so you can cushion, your delays, reverbs here. And that's cool. Now, there's some interesting mics around here.
Oh yeah, well,
this is your repair section, isn't it?
Yeah,
as you were saying.
I'm working on this one here. I'm trying to reverse engineer it. If there's something weird about it, normally it should be a really, really flat mic. They're a cool microphone. They're incredible. I'll quickly diverge a little bit.
Yeah,
but they've got two capsules. They've got a bass capsule and a treble capsule. Sort of like a speaker in a way. But they're they're a bit fragile. And so the things, various things tend to break. So the other day I found one that the bass capsule had gone. So I had a spare one and I swapped around and I got one going out of two. This one here is a bit more complex. It's weird. I'm not quite sure what's wrong, but I've got a friend who's got another one that's identical to that. He's going to bring it in and I'm going to check the two of them together to see
if there's anything different.
Yeah, that's right. So this is my little work in progress here, just there. This here is a friend's, this is a copy of a C12 that a friend bought from somewhere in the States. He's getting a new capsule that I'll put in, and he's going to get a new tube as well, a high quality tube. But at the moment it's just waiting for the capsule to arrive.
This is the pimp my microphone section.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, we've got a lot to go through, so take us through the other sections of the studio.
Okay, well, look, there's another one of my broken dreams there.
Where's that? Oh, your amplifier? That's
all right. This is it's off getting the output transformer rewound, so it'll be back up and going again. This is my AC30. I think it's a 74, 72, 74, somewhere in that era. It's got the awesome those speakers. Yeah. The special ones, the Silver Bell or whatever. It's a cool amp, but it's obviously the last few times I used it, it was sounding bad.
Right.
Go that sound of arcing, which is very depressing when you hear that.
Is this organ being used?
This is mostly a prop. It's out of tune. It's about like a
what era is it?
It's probably 30s or 40s.
But it's about it still goes.
It still goes, but you'll find it's about a quarter tone flat. So if I was playing the piano, it would sound pretty weird.
Awesome. I feel like I'm at a carnival. No, it's great. It still works. Maybe I'll just do a whole album.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. And you
might have
no overdubs.
And this is the live room.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The old
dance floor.
The dance floor.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the ballroom.
Yeah,
awesome.
So, there's loads of stuff in it, isn't there?
Yeah, no, I mean, tell us about the journey of the acoustics, first of all. So how did you...
I was fortunate in that I moved in when I came here, it was already all done. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so Bungalow Bill is like the original, he's the one who started the lab.
Yeah,
Bungalow
right.
Bill, who's got a shop up on K Road.
Yeah, no, I know that shop.
The other K Road.
Yeah. Bungalow Guitars or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Bungalow Bill Guitars. Yes.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
So he's the originator of it, and he put this. When he moved in about '97, he went through and did all the baffling and stuff. So it's otherwise it'd be pretty intense, pretty reverberant.
Yes.
Yeah. This here is like it's pretty thick with stuff behind that one. I recently refilled it with some really full on. High density bat, like yucky stuff, you don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
But it's really good for sound.
Yeah.
And then I think he originally had designed this one here to go up there in that panel in that top. So there would have been like 4 of these panels in the top.
Yes.
But for some reason he put it there. And it's actually, I quite like it there. It's a good look.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you ever get artists just sitting in these chairs and playing their guitar?
Yeah.
Set up a couple of microphones around them and that's it? I
haven't done so much of that. It's more people sit down and have a beer kind of thing. It's perfect for that.
This is the inspiration section.
Yeah.
I love how everything's sort of
ready to go.
In their place, ready to go. So this is the keys area.
Yeah, it is, my little Wurlitzer.
Now, I've seen one of these before.
Yeah, right.
Tell us a little bit about that story.
So this, funnily enough, the person who got me starting to fix amps and things, he used to own this. And he's the Trade Me guy. So it came up on Trade Me for sale late last year, I think. I'll give you I'll just...
Now, we won't get any copyright on this because this is an original.
So they're a bit of a characteristic machine.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm very lucky to have this because they're not very common.
No.
You hear them quite a bit on like 70s and 80s recordings and stuff. So it's all over that music.
It's beautiful.
But yeah, most of the time people will use there's so many, I guess, plug-in versions of it.
Right.
But it's lovely to have because they all feel different. Like this feels different to the Rhodes, and it feels different to the piano as well.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I love how you've got this Rhodes.
Yeah, that's actually a very good friend of mine. She has lent this to me. Well, left it with me on a long term. One day she'll come and get it.
Yep.
But right now it's a beautiful and really good neck and it plays really nicely. So
that's awesome.
Once again, I'm really lucky. It gets used quite a bit, especially on jazz kind of sessions.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the one.
That's the go-to, isn't it?
And that's the little,
this piano?
that's the character piano, shall we say.
Is it?
It isn't tuned, but it's not, it's not the
Good thing about having a character piano is it's your character piano.
Totally.
This is the sound of the lab right here.
Yeah.
Where's Kramer from, though?
I'm not sure. It's probably an English one, I imagine. This is a pretty cool piano.
That's amazing, yeah. Tell us about this one.
This actually, do you know Stephen Small, the guy, I think he teaches at SAE.
Right, okay, Stephen Small.
Yeah, he's I think the piano originally came from the university. It was sat there for many years being played endlessly by students.
Yeah.
And then he got it, and then he's left it with me because he has no room. So it's a really good, bright piano, which is fantastic for most pop music.
Yeah.
Not the greatest for jazz because they always want really soft stuff, but
it's got a nice bright tone.
Yeah. So it's really good for, music with drums. Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. So I'm once again, really lucky that
How do you like miking this piano? I suppose it depends on the project.
Yeah, a couple of ways. Often it'll be, sometimes I like doing it sort of from here. Recently I did one that was really cool. I got the 267s and I sort of actually had them up together and pointing in. No, where was it? No, it was like that. Sort of like somehow it was just something I wanted to try. Sort of how people do overheads sometimes.
Right.
So pointing in like that. And that was really cool.
Really?
Yeah. Quite wide.
Yeah.
Which is, quite a cool thing.
Yeah.
Other times I'll put two, one here, one there sort of thing out there. So I'm always experimenting. There's never really a perfect way.
Yeah, there is never really a perfect formula, right?
Yeah. I just enjoy trying different things out.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's half of the
It is,
fun,
That's
half of the fun.
What keeps you doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the house kit?
That is, that's my my 73 Premier.
Nice.
The good old beaten up thing with a 24-inch kick.
Now, is there a set rule of miking this kit? Or?
Nah, not really.
Not really.
It's it sort of depends a little bit what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the full sort of 14 mic setup. Other times it's just 3 sort of thing.
Yeah. I have to say that's one of the biggest drum kicks I've ever seen.
It's massive, isn't it? Yeah. There is another one in there, which is the 22, and it's possibly a little more usable.
Yeah.
But once again, I like to change things around sometimes.
Absolutely.
So I drag this one out.
You got the Vox amp there for
that's for the Wurlitzer.
Wurlitzer.
Yeah.
Yep. And some
nice selection
guitars.
of things. Yeah.
You say you play?
Oh yeah. That's the Les Paul I was telling you about.
Yeah.
That's the 73 or 74 Deluxe.
Nice.
It's
beautiful.
Oh, it is lovely. It's broken the neck twice.
The thing I love about old Gibsons is, it's just the quality of old Gibsons compared to the new ones.
Yeah, totally right. And it's, look, it's so old. It's gone yellow around here and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I've had a lot of stuff done to it over the years. The pickups died. I person who was using it a lot
Yeah.
sweated.
Yeah.
Sweated, quite acrid sweat, obviously, and the pickups got eaten away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I had to get them rewound. 3 of the 4 coils had to get rewound. But it's as good as new now.
That's cool. That's one of
Yeah.
the most beautiful guitars I've
Yeah,
ever seen.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got a Les Paul myself, and I had a choice between getting I think 2001, 2005, and I preferred the 2001.
Yeah, right.
It's just the older Gibsons.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you play us a tune?
I'm not very good. You play it if you want.
Oh, no, you just have a noodle while I have a look around. So this is a Fender...
Yeah, it's a 97
Stratocaster?
Strat, and it's basically it's the, you know, I wanted it a Mark Knopfler style Stratocaster.
Yeah.
Going into my
reverb?
Well, it was a twin. You see.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
okay. So it's just the shell of a twin?
It's the shell of a twin that I completely rebuilt, and it's now got a super reverb amp inside it. So instead of being 135, which it was, one of those awful ultra-linear ones, I did a little bit of thinking, and I wanted an amp that sound good, that didn't have to be so loud. And the ultra-linear twin is just not a really very pleasant amp. Maybe good if you're playing pedal steel or something.
Yeah.
But so last summer I got I got everything. I bought the transformers and the parts and things, and I put it together, and it's a revelation. It's a really beautiful amp. So I'm really happy with it now. It's yeah. I had a couple of little things that I had to get sorted out by someone who's far more knowledgeable, Clary. Yeah. And he, so I picked it up last week from him after he'd gone through and found those bits, and it's really awesome. So I'm real happy that it's...
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Because I've had that for nearly as long as I've had the Les Paul.
Yeah.
You have a go if you want.
Not much of a guitar player, but...
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, I love the twang.
Yeah. That's what they do very well, is real twanging.
Is that, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, but there's you know, if you want a less twangy amp, then there's all those ones over there too.
Oh, I love it. I could play with this guitar all day, actually.
Yeah, that's a reasonably recent one, and I went through a patch where I just lost the plot really and got really into Stratocasters.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So there's another 3 up there.
Yeah. Okay.
all slightly different ones.
I know a collector that collects Strats.
Yeah.
That's his thing.
Yeah, I was almost that. I almost became that, but
Why not?
I pulled back. I'd say, okay, I've got enough. I need to look at other things now.
Yeah. This is awesome. What is this?
That is a Diplomat, and I think it belongs to a bass player called Mike Hall.
Yeah.
And he's sort of left it with me because he's got a lot of basses.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, but at the moment it's going through my, this is an old, once again, an early 70s Laney. At the moment going through the bass speakers of a Fender amp, which the amp part of which I don't really like very much. So I use the Laney and so the amp from this is actually over there in that twin cabinet. Nice. More messing around.
That's cool. You're a spot for choice for amps around here. Well, speaking of amps, let's have a look at some of your other choices.
All right.
Yeah, you honestly, I think you've got all the genres covered.
Yeah. This is another amp that I bought as, so starting from the left here, the Super Lead. This was just a standard reissue. But it was shrill and harsh. It was too intense. I didn't like it. I liked the look of it, so I did a full rebuild. Okay. Turned it into, I got so new transformers in the full point-to-point hand-wired board. Yeah. That was one of the earlier amps that I did. That's cool. And now it's really good. It sounds lovely. If you want to do some proper rocking, this is good. Yeah, absolutely. This is a friend of mine. He's currently living in Denmark, I think. Oh, okay. So that's a 69 Bassman, and that's a really lovely amp. the PV Rage in Pride of Place.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Exactly, because
Are you using that for certain projects, or?
the PV Rage? No, it just sits there because it looks so cool. It's the good old
I had
it. It was my first amp.
Not
that actual one, but a Rage.
Oh no, you got it. That's why.
This is a really cool amp, the AC15. That's incredibly useful. So that get pulled out from time to time. This here,
Jansen Basement.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, but I think I'm going to turn it into one of these.
Okay.
Just quietly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't really like it very much. But I like the look of it. It's a cool look.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah,
but I reckon if I can turn it into a Fender Basement.
That would be cool.
Maybe the blonde version. That's so I have to get, get the parts. So I can do it. And I think that'll be quite nice.
I have a blonde Supersonic at home.
Ah, right. Yes. Okay. So
it'll
be along those kind of lines.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so
this is just a little single 12 or classic. What is it? So
it's got no brand, or was it the box? Was it? Did it have?
No, it was I can't even remember what it was, but it's just a speaker, just a cab. But what's in it is the speaker out of this, which was a classic 30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a lovely speaker.
And it's a Marshall.
Yeah, Silver Jubilee. It's a cool amp. It's kind of like a JCM 800.
Yeah.
But the speaker out of it was too good to leave in that nasty little box, so I put it in here so you run the big amp through it. Yeah.
This is sort of like the Frankenstein.
It is, I know. There's not many amps that I leave alone. I've left this one alone.
That's good.
That's stock.
Keep that curiosity.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That little thing there, though.
This one here?
That's actually quite special. So this was a red knob champ, not a particularly good amp, but once again, Frankenstein comes into play. What did you do with it? It's now a tweed champ.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a good size for a tweed.
Yeah, I know. It's got the with a 12-inch speaker too. So
that's cool.
It's awesome. So it's got all the like the brightness and the twang is over there on the Super Reverb twin Frankenstein thing.
Yeah.
This is the Midley little grungy amp.
That's cool.
Yeah, with the 12-inch speaker, so it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really useful.
Hey, some cool axes
here. Yeah. So, there's
a Fender...
A Bassman.
Bassman?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, a Precision, a P-Bass.
Yeah. Yeah, and over here is a Strat. Oh, this is your...
This is the Strat, yeah.
Strats, 3 Strats and a Telecaster.
Yeah.
Sounds like a pub joke.
Yeah.
Some sort. That's cool.
Yeah, so they are...
Standards.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah. This one here is the 69 type one. That's cool. And the white one's lovely. That's
Tell us the years. Is it 69?
That is an actual... that's a real Frankenstein, that.
Oh, really?
It's a Frankenstein. So the body is a Tokai from maybe 81.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the neck is relatively new. I got it from that Real Tone place.
Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
and I got Bennett, what's his name? Guy Bennett. So it's got a nitrocellulose finished neck. It's very nice. But it's basically it's a 54 or 56 sort of style with a slightly fatter neck. And the tally is just a Mexican tally. It's pretty cool. It used to have a humbucker in it, but I got rid of it and replaced it with the nice pickups. And that's a good solid guitar. Yeah.
And when you are modifying things, what's the usual time frame? I know sometimes you can go ongoing, but like for example, one of those once it takes I've got to get up a head of steam, and then once I'm off, it's pretty quick. So, to do that amp, I think it was probably like 2 days of soldering and there's always a few things you got to this is a problem. What do I do? And you got to do a bunch of research on the internet to find out what it is. But they're the things that hold you up. But if they weren't there, then I could probably do the amp in like maybe 2 days. Because it's the soldering the board and then there's the wiring to the bits. And I get really into it. I find it really rewarding and fun. No, that must be so good.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the keyboard.
So this is a Hammond L122. It is a tone wheel organ. With a sort of a interesting Leslie with various, it's a kind of a two-part Leslie really.
Yeah.
But it's a really, it's just a basic Hammond really with the, drawbars that, so, you'll find a bunch of people have got, virtual Hammonds, but it's really lovely to have a real one.
To have a real one.
Yeah. And it's got, if you get the volume up enough, it sort of overdrives itself, so it's got quite a lot of character.
And if we walk down this way, we've got a selection of
some of the mics.
Mics?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Some of the ones I'd often use on the drum kit, probably over
Spot
here.
for choice, toms, vocals, spotlights. Awesome.
Yeah, these are the ones that I've been fixing recently. I've got 3 of them, you see, and this is one of the ones that's been fixed.
Awesome.
But I had to take this off, and so at the moment I've just haven't found the right glue, so it's held on with tape.
Now we could spend a day just on microphones. Just so you know, if you do come to the lab, you're pretty much sorted. So, but I will highlight the Neumanns because they're amazing. Tell us about them.
So these are the 87s.
Yep.
A pair of them, which sort of came through various ways. That, but it's so once again they're the ones from the 70s, I think. So they've got the battery compartment in them.
Yep.
They're really cool. They're solid and always usable.
Yep.
These are the 67s. So
nice.
they're I'm so glad that I've got them because trying to get a pair of those now is like basically you're looking at 20 grand.
Yeah, something ridiculous.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, just for one almost kind of thing. So they were always here. They were, when I started here, these were already here. And so I've just lovingly maintained them, tried not to drop them too much. Yeah. Because they've obviously had a life. So they are probably the mics that get, I don't know, over the years, they would be the mics that have had the most use just because they're so good on everything.
Just on everything, right?
Yeah.
What are these?
This here is once again a thing, another thing that I built myself. So this is a U47 clone.
Ah, wow.
Yeah. It is, so it's very lovingly made. It's got,
nice.
The thing with the U47 is they stopped making the tube back in the late 40s.
Right.
And so getting the original tube is actually impossible now. So this has got a slightly redesigned circuit with a different, like a different tube in it. And so that's how you get around it. But everything else is the same. So it's got a, really blissfully good capsule in it and transformers and stuff. It sounds incredible. It's really good. And so that came as a kit. It was not cheap, but
so what are you using the Olly mics for?
Yeah, this is often on the vocals. Often also, and during tracking, it'll be on the front of the bass drum.
Okay.
If you want to have if you want that sound, it seems to be able to handle it. I started off being a wee bit tentative, but it's amazing. It's a beautiful mic. I'm really, really happy to have it. And this here,
the one behind.
That is a C12 clone.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. With, once again, a really high-spec capsule and a really lovely tube and various things. Yeah, from that DIY site that I go to, you find at times people are making things, not always. You have to be in at the right time to get them, but I was in the right time to get both of those.
For people of the interwebs, can we say what the...
Yeah. So the site that I go to is called groupdiy.com.
Group DIY.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you're interested in
making your own stuff,
your own things,
and teaching yourself about it.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's full of the nerdiest of nerds. It's great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's pioneering for you. There's a secret room here.
This is the old stage.
Is this? Oh, okay. This is the old stage.
Yeah, that's been built out and turned into an ISO booth.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's have a look.
Yeah, so it's a bit of lots of different things in here, but at the moment, this is the other drum kit is sitting in here.
Yeah.
This is where I'll often put the guitar amps, for instance, if there's a band out there tracking.
I just want to rock out with a guitar.
Yeah.
Just be part of the history. No, that's great.
Yeah.
So this ISO booth is used for isolating whatever, really?
All kinds of things. So if there's a large band, maybe sometimes I'll do the drums in here,
Yeah, nice.
It can, you get a really
that different sound.
That
rather
really
than big.
dead sound, yeah, which can be really cool.
Have you tracked brass or anything like
I
that?
have tracked brass in
Cool.
here, yeah,
Yeah.
back in the day. It's been a while since I've had a big section in.
Yeah,
Mostly
that's
it's 2 or
cool.
3, but
Excellent.
yeah, it's just it's a useful room to have.
Very useful.
Yeah. Also a
that's
good place to stash a bunch of stuff that you
Yeah.
don't know where to put yet.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, a very beautiful section of the library
Yeah, yeah. This
here at the lab.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
great. It's a good room actually. It sounds nice in here, you know. It's not too reverberant and not too dead.
Yeah,
It's just
no,
about
that's
right.
not-
Yeah.
Looks good.
And a few nice rugs.
Rugs are important.
Yeah, yeah. I have to thank my wife for the rugs, actually, well, these two anyway. Coming up the stairs here, this is the oven. This is where,
Oh, this is the oven.
this is Joel's space. Yep, just take you quickly up here.
I think there's some work happening right now.
Oi.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to NZ Cribs. No,
I know.
it's a little bit like that.
Awesome. Oh, welcome to the oven.
This is the oven
Yeah.
with Joel.
Joel Mulholland, yep.
Yep, Joel Holland.
Yep. Oh, look, over there, there's the Yamaha OCD.
Ah,
the
yes, you were saying.
first desk I bought.
Oh, what a blister.
Vintage digital now. Yeah. Yeah, so this is, yeah, excellent.
That's cool. I really like this space.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a lot of blues. It's played up here.
What are you currently working on there?
I am syncing up numerous old and new analogue pieces of equipment for a session on Monday
Okay.
with a new group called Utu.
Utu,
Which is Anika Moa and Sean James Donnelly. So
Cool.
we make kind of krautrock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
just getting ahead of the game and plugging in some toys.
That's
Quite
awesome.
mind-boggling.
This is synth heaven.
It's synth heaven
Yeah.
and
And
So-
more guitars.
guitar heaven
Yeah.
and amp heaven.
Yeah. It's sort of like a concentrated version of what we've just been through.
Totally. Yeah,
That's
so you
so
guys
cool.
have been through the lab, eh? With,
Yeah, we're doing a musicstudios.co.nz tour.
Oh, yeah, cool.
It's almost
of
like
the
you should do
lab,
one
so-
here too.
Yeah, maybe this could be an episode. No, it's very cool. I'll leave you to it. This is
Yeah.
amazing.
I'll just
So
quickly
this is-
show them. I'll show you
this-
guys.
that was the oven.
Yeah. All right. So I shall take you through to the room of broken dreams.
The room of broken dreams.
Yeah. So this is the stuff that's like on the long-term fix list, and storage, shall we say? And the summer tech area, it's a complete and utter mess at the moment.
Yeah.
But that's partly because there's various people have got their hands in it from time to time. This is our sort of, we don't know what to do with these wall over there with
Yeah.
those various speakers and things. Some of the guitars, this is going through my Strat phase here. These are the ones that didn't make it.
All right.
There's 3 more Strat bodies, then there's a 4th one there, some more broken mics, some and all of these broken dreams, synths and things like that, sort of go and sort of don't go, and
Ah, that's awesome.
yeah.
I'm super sad about these synths because some of these are
I know.
amazing. Oh my god, you have a micro head.
Yeah, but there is
This is
one day someone will make some of them go, but
Yeah.
there's like, there's a, what is that one there? Is it a 106? I'm not sure, but basically we've got too many, all these people have got all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so there's too much of it really, so we just have to kind of put it out the back and forget about it.
yeah.
Yeah. We've got this is the other bit of place where we can get a little bit of sun
Oh yeah.
for about an hour a day.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're just look, someone's
Oh
just
look, someone's
put a $10
tipped you a
note.
$10
Wow.
note. How lucky is that?
Yeah, I'll go and put it in the kitchen and see who wants it. But yeah, so
It's amazing.
there's this little gap between the building and the sun will come in for maybe an hour at the right time of the day. I think we might be, we're a bit early for it. But it's,
That's cool.
yeah, that's a bit scary. And a lot of tagging. We haven't done it.
Yes.
So we get visitors from time to time, obviously.
And that is the room of broken dreams.
Yeah. But beyond the Room of Broken Dreams, through in there, that's where Alistair Deverick has got a room in there. He's a drummer, producer, musician chap. And his room is through in there. He's not here today, but he normally is.
That's cool.
And then Matthias Jordan is he's got a tiny little room in here.
Tiny room in there.
Yeah,
as well.
and then that door there, that's Tom Healy.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not sure if he's here today or not, but he's got another room as well. He's got a little recording room, which is through down there, and then at the top of the stairs is it's Ed Castello, and the bottom of the stairs there is Jeremy Toy, and in here. With his drums outside, ready to go, is Wayne Bell. He's got a room there. Yeah. So when he's not doing his licensing stuff, he will spend some time in there doing ads or whatever.
Cool.
So we're a pretty full house.
That's really good though.
Yeah, it is. There's not a lot of space left, but it is good. It is really good. There can be times when it's go go go. You know, where everyone's here. And
And there is a kitchen facility at the
yeah,
oven.
there is. It's a bit scary, but yeah.
But it's usable.
It's usable, you know. Yeah, it's got a microwave.
Cool.
Yeah. And my favourite, the stairs.
Oh, the stairs, yeah. The iconic...
with the mirror up there so you can check your reflection.
That room was the room of broken dreams. This is the room of dreams.
Ascending dreams.
Ascending dreams, yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Thank you so much for the studio tour of the lab.
Oh, good. My
Thank
pleasure.
you, Ollie. It's been amazing. And if you're around Mount Eden Village, this is really one of the last remaining large spaces to record. And it's really creative. So thank you. And if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to check out more music studios. And remember to stay cool and stay creative.
Awesome.